The twin suns burned high in the sky. The heat was sharp like knives. The desert was wide, dry and empty. Nothing moved, not even the wind. The sand was golden, but it felt like fire. A young alien girl was buried to her neck in the sand. Only, her head was above ground. Her purple skin was dry and cracked. Her black eyes blinked slowly. Her name was Sarah, and she was only 14 cycles old. Her people, the Zairi, were peaceful desert dwellers. But now, her village was gone. The Raskari raiders had attacked at night. They had strong weapons and no mercy. Her mother had screamed. Her father had fought, and everything had turned to smoke and fire. Sarah had been taken away from the others. The Raskari laughed as they threw her into a deep hole and covered her body with hot sand. "Let the sun finish her," they said. Then they rode away, leaving her behind. Sarah had cried at first. She screamed for help, but the desert gave no answer. Her throat became dry. Her tears turned to salt. Now hours had passed, maybe a full day. She was too weak to move. Her skin burned. Her lips cracked. She closed her eyes. "This is it," she thought. "I will die here, alone." But then she heard something. Footsteps, heavy, slow, careful. Something or someone was walking nearby. She opened her eyes just a little. The light hurt, but she could see a dark shape moving in the sun. A tall figure, walking across the sand, with long strides. A traveler, a man. As he got closer, she saw that he was not Zairi. His skin was light brown. His face was rough. His clothes were dusty, and he wore a long brown cloak. One of his arms was metal, shiny and silver, with wires moving like small snakes. He had a weapon on his back, but he didn't reach for it. He stopped in front of her and looked down. Sarah stared up at him, too weak to speak. He crouched beside her and gave a small nod. "You're alive," he said. His voice was deep and calm. "Just barely." She opened her mouth, but no words came out. He took a bottle from his bag and gently held it to her lips. Cool water touched her tongue. She drank slowly. It felt like life itself. "Don't drink too fast," he warned. "You'll get sick." He looked around the desert, then pulled out a tool. It made a soft whirring sound. He started digging. Each scoop of sand took time. The sun was still hot and sweat rolled down his face, but he didn't stop. He dug carefully, not hurting her. Slowly her arms, her chest, and finally her legs were free. She gasped as she could move again. Her muscles were sore, but she was alive. He wrapped her in a blanket and lifted her in his arms. "You're safe now," he said. "I've got you." Sarah looked at his face. He didn't smile. His eyes were tired, but there was something gentle in the way he held her. "Who are you?" she whispered. "Name's Logan Creed," he said. "Just a traveler." He carried her to a sand cruiser parked nearby. It was an old machine with wheels and a humming engine. He laid her in the back seat and gave her more water and a small piece of bread. "Eat slowly," he said. She nodded and obeyed. As the sand cruiser moved forward, she asked, "Where are we going?" "There's an outpost a few hours from here," Logan said. "You'll rest there. We'll figure things out." Sarah looked out at the desert. Her voice was quiet. "My family, they were taken. My village burned." Logan said nothing for a moment. Then he replied, "I know the Raskari. They've been raiding all across this planet." "You're not from here," she said. He nodded. "I'm human. From Earth." Sarah had heard stories of humans. Some said they were warriors. Others said they were dangerous. But this man had saved her. He had dug her out of the sand with his own hands. "Why did you help me?" she asked. Logan didn't answer right away. "Because no one else did." They rode in silence for a while. Then a sharp noise filled the air. A buzzing sound. Logan looked up. A drone was flying overhead, small, fast, and shaped like a metal bird. Raskari, Scout, Logan muttered. He grabbed a long weapon from the seat. It looked old but strong. Stay down, he said. He opened the cruiser door, aimed, and fired. The drone exploded in the sky, falling in pieces like a broken star. Logan got back in. They're searching for survivors, he said. We need to move. Sarah looked at him amazed. You're a soldier? Used to be, he said. Not anymore. His voice was full of pain. Did you fight in the war? She asked softly. He nodded. Yeah. I was on the wrong side more than once. She looked at his metal arm. What happened to your arm? Lost it in a fight, he said. Got a new one. Works well enough. Sarah saw a scar on his neck. It looked old, but deep. He had been through many battles. Why are you here now? She asked. He looked at the road ahead, trying to make peace with the past. That night they reached the outpost. It was a small shelter made of stone and steel, hidden between rocks. Inside, it was cool and dark. Logan gave Sarah a bed, food, and clean clothes. She lay down, too tired to speak. Before turning off the lights, Logan said, Get some rest. You're safe here. As Sarah closed her eyes, she thought of her family, her village, and the fire. She also thought of Logan, the strange human who found her when she was ready to die. She didn't know why he had helped her. But something inside her said he was not just a traveler. He was something more. Maybe a hero. Sarah woke slowly. Her body ached, but the soft bed under her felt like clouds compared to the burning sand she had left behind. The air was cooler here, inside the small outpost. She looked around. The walls were made of metal and stone patched together like an old shelter. Light came from a single hanging bulb. She heard quiet sounds, footsteps, a soft humming noise, and the hiss of a cooking pot. Then she saw him. Logan Creed stood near a metal stove. He stirred something in a pan with his metal arm while his other hand held a cup. He looked rough, tired, but calm. His long brown coat hung on the wall, and now he wore simple black clothes. He turned when he heard her move. You're awake, he said. Good. Sarah sat up slowly. Her legs were still sore. She touched her arms. The burns were wrapped in soft cloth. You fixed my wounds? She asked. Logan nodded. They weren't too bad. You'll be all right. He brought her a bowl of soup and a spoon. It smelled like spice and meat. Sarah took the bowl with both hands. It was warm and comforting. Thank you, she said softly. He didn't reply, just turned back to the stove. After a few minutes, Sarah asked, Is this your home? Logan shook his head. Just a place I found. I move around. Easier that way. The room had maps on the walls, some with marks and notes. There were old tools, weapons, and pieces of broken machines. On a small table lay a photo, faded, dusty, and tucked inside a metal frame. Sarah noticed it but didn't ask. You live alone? She asked. Logan poured water into a cup and gave it to her. Yes. Sarah looked at his hands. His right hand was made of metal, strong and clean. His left hand was real but rough and full of scars. She had never seen hands like that before. Not even the warriors of her village had such hands. These hands had seen pain, and they had also saved her. You could have left me there, Sarah said. Why didn't you? Logan sat down on a crate. Because I was left once too. Long time ago. Sarah wanted to ask more, but his eyes said the topic was closed. Later, as she sat beside a small heater, she told him about her village. The Raskari came from the cliffs. They had flying bikes and heavy guns. We tried to run. My mother told me to hide. I did, but they found me. Logan listened without speaking. They took my people, Sarah said. I think they're using them for something. I heard them talk about old human tech buried under our land. Logan's face grew still. What tech? Sarah thought hard. They said something about A signal. From before the war. A weapon? Maybe. Logan cursed under his breath. Not a rude word, just a sound of worry. If the Raskari find old Earth tech, that's trouble for everyone. Can you stop them? Sarah asked. I'm just one man, Logan said. But I can make it harder for them. That night, Sarah couldn't sleep. She sat by the small window, watching the stars. The desert was quiet now. Safe. But her heart was still full of fear. Then she heard Logan talking to someone. She peeked into the next room. He was speaking to a small communication device. His voice was low. I found a girl, he said. Zayari. Young. The Raskari left her to die. Voice replied, but Sarah couldn't hear it clearly. They're still hunting for old gear, Logan said. They're getting closer to something. If I don't stop them, more kids like her will suffer. The voice said something again. Logan sighed. I know I said I was done, he whispered, but maybe this is how I make it right. The call ended. Sarah stepped away quietly. The next morning, Logan gave her a bag with supplies. I'll take you to a safer place, he said. There's a small Zayari camp near the valley. I'll leave you there. Sarah looked down. I don't want to leave. Logan raised an eyebrow. Why? I want to help, she said. You helped me. Now let me help you. Logan shook his head. You're still weak. I can learn, she said. He thought for a long moment. Then he nodded. Fine. But you follow orders. Understand? Sarah smiled. Yes, Logan. He didn't smile back, but his eyes softened just a little. Over. The next few days, Logan taught her how to survive. He showed her how to use simple tools, how to move quietly, how to watch the skies for drones. She learned quickly. She was small, fast, and smart. One day while they were scouting, a drone appeared again. This one was different. Larger, with red lights and a loud engine. Hide, Logan said. They crouched under a rock ledge as the drone passed. But then Sarah saw it turning back. They saw us, she said. Logan grabbed his rifle. Run, back to the outpost. But Sarah didn't. Run. She picked up a mirror from his bag and flashed a light toward the drone, blinding it for a second. Logan took the shot. Boom. The drone crashed. Logan looked at her. Where'd you learn that trick? My mother used mirrors to scare desert hawks, Sarah said. Logan chuckled for the first time. Smart girl. That night they sat by a small fire. Sarah asked, Do you have a family? Logan looked into the flames. I had a daughter. She died during the war. A mistake. Crossfire. Sarah stayed quiet. I came to this planet to forget, Logan said. But maybe I was supposed to find you instead. Sarah's eyes filled with tears. I'm sorry about your daughter. He nodded. Me too. Then a sharp beep came from the communicator. Logan picked it up. A voice spoke, crackling with static. Raskari base spotted near old ruins. Many Zayari prisoners confirmed. Sarah's heart jumped. That might be my mother. Logan looked at her. You sure? She had a necklace. Blue stone, shaped like a moon. If she's alive, she'll still have it. Logan stood up. Then we're going after her. Sarah rose to her feet. Together? He looked at her. Yes. Together. The desert was quiet again, but not for long. Sarah stood beside Logan near a rocky cliff. The sun was setting and the sky burned with orange light. Below them, in the valley, lay the Raskari base. The base was large, built from stolen metal and crashed ships. Tall fences with blinking red lights surrounded it. Strange machines moved along the walls. In the center stood a tall tower with a dish that pointed to the sky. Smoke rose from chimneys. Lights flickered in windows. Logan studied the base through a pair of old binoculars. They've got heavy guards, he said. 15 fighters outside, probably more inside. Drones flying patrols. And that dish? Sarah looked at the dish. What is it? Signal receiver, Logan said. It's waking something up. Something old. Something human. Sarah's heart beat fast. My mother might be inside. Logan lowered the binoculars. We go in at night. Quietly. No mistakes. I'm ready, Sarah said. He looked at her, then nodded. I believe you. That night the stars lit the sky like a million lanterns. Logan and Sarah moved like shadows through the rocks, crawling close to the fence. Logan used a tool to cut a hole in the metal. It buzzed softly, like a whisper. They slipped inside. The base was busy. Raskari guards walked in pairs. Robots rolled by with boxes. Sarah stayed close to Logan. Every step counted. Every sound mattered. They passed a storage area where metal crates were stacked high. Then they heard something. Voices. Soft. Sad. This way, Sarah whispered. They followed the Osai sound to a small cage. Inside were a dozen Zayari prisoners tied and weak. One of them stood out, a tall woman with silver hair and glowing purple eyes. Mother, Sarah gasped. Her mother looked up. Her face changed from pain to hope. Sarah rushed to the cage. Tears rolled down her cheeks. Logan pulled a small lockbreaker from his belt. He placed it on the cage door. It clicked softly and the lock dropped. The prisoners looked at him in fear. Sarah spoke quickly in Zayari. He's a friend. He saved me. Her mother stepped forward, touching her face. I thought I lost you. Sarah hugged her tightly. Logan gave them a moment, then said, We have to move quietly. But just then, beep, beep, beep. An alarm rang out. A drone had spotted them. A red light flashed in the sky. Then came the shout. Intruders! The base came alive. Sirens screamed, doors opened. Guards poured out with weapons. Run! Logan shouted. He grabbed a rifle from his back and fired. The first drone exploded. Sarah led her people through the hole in the fence. Logan stayed, behind, covering them. He fired shot after shot, taking down drones and guards, but there were too many. Sarah turned back. Logan, come! He threw a flash bomb, covering his escape in white light. Then he ran. They regrouped in the rocks, far from the base. Everyone was breathing hard. Sarah's mother held her close. You saved us, she whispered. Logan checked. His arm. A bullet had scraped the metal. No real damage. Sarah looked at him. That signal, they're still sending it, right? Logan nodded. Yes. Whatever they're trying to find, it's still out there. Can we stop it? She asked. He looked at her. We have to. Back at the outpost, Logan showed them a map. There's an old Earth station deep in the mountains. Abandoned. Long before the war. If they wake it up, it could be dangerous, Sarah asked. What kind of danger? Old weapons. Defense. Systems. AI that doesn't know the war is over. It could wipe out whole cities. The Zayari elders, rescued from the base, spoke among themselves. One said, Then we must destroy the signal. Logan agreed. But not with a large group. Too easy to spot. Just me. And maybe one partner. Sarah stood. I'll go. Her mother held her hand. You're strong now, Sarah. But are you sure? Sarah looked at Logan. He didn't leave me behind. I won't leave him. Logan nodded. All right, we leave at dawn. The next day they traveled through the red canyons. Wind howled between the cliffs. Birds circled high above. Sarah wore light armor now. Zayari made, flexible and strong. Logan gave her a small blaster and showed her how to use it. They walked, for hours, climbing over rocks, sliding down slopes. Finally, they saw it. The old Earth station. It was built into the mountain, hidden under stone and dust. The door was wide, dark, and cold. Symbols glowed faintly above it. English words. United Earth Defense, Site 09. Last time I saw one of these, Logan said. I was still a soldier. They stepped inside. The station was quiet. The walls were smooth metal. Lights blinked, dimly. Screens lined the hallway, cracked and dusty. Old machines lay broken. The air smelled of rust and time. They moved slowly. Sarah held her blaster tight. Then they found the signal room. A tall tower of screens and wires filled the space. In the middle was a glowing blue core. It pulsed like a heart. Logan checked the system. It's still connected to the signal dish. In the Raskari base, they're using it to scan space. Looking for what? Sarah asked. Logan frowned. Not what. Who? He typed on a screen. A file opened. Project Dawnstrike. Sarah read the first line. Autonomous Earth Fleet. Last known position, deep space, unknown quadrant. They're calling a ship? She asked. More than one, Logan said. They're calling a whole fleet of warships. If those ships come back, they might see this planet as enemy land. Sarah gasped. They'll attack? They might. If their AI still thinks the war is happening. Sarah stepped forward. We have to stop the signal. But just then, boom! The wall exploded. Raskari guards stormed in. The leader stepped forward. A tall alien with black armor and glowing red eyes. You should have stayed buried, girl, he growled. Sarah raised her blaster. Logan stood beside her. The room filled with light as battle began. The battle inside the ancient Earth station was fierce. Sarah's heart pounded like a drum. She stood shoulder to shoulder with Logan, their blasters glowing in the dim light. The Raskari leader sneered, stepping forward with a heavy weapon in his hand. His armor was black and scarred, his eyes burning red with anger. You can't stop us, he hissed. The signal will bring our power back. The Zyari will be crushed. The humans will bow. Logan growled. Not while I'm alive. The fight exploded. Blaster shots flashed across the room. Sparks flew as weapons clashed. Sarah moved fast, dodging a blast and firing back. Her training with Logan had prepared her, but this was different. Real danger. She saw one of the prisoners from the base, caught by a guard. Without thinking, she aimed and fired. The guard fell, clutching his arm, and the prisoner ran free. Logan shouted, "Focus on the signal core. If it keeps running, the fleet will come." Sarah nodded, running toward the glowing blue core. It pulsed steadily, sending waves of light into the screens around it. The Raskari leader followed, blocking her path. Sarah stared him down. This ends now. He raised his weapon, ready to fire, but Logan jumped between them, firing a shot. That hit the leader's shoulder. The leader roared, furious. He fired back, hitting Logan's metal arm. Sparks flew, but Logan held firm. Sarah rushed forward, grabbed a thick metal rod from the floor, and swung it hard at the leader. The blow knocked him backward, giving Logan the chance to rush to the core. Logan worked quickly, pressing buttons and pulling wires. This system is old but still strong, he muttered. We need to shut down the power. Sarah watched the door. More guards were coming. Hold them off, Logan ordered. Sarah moved to a narrow hallway. She could hear footsteps, growls, and the hum of weapons. The Raskari were closing in. She fired carefully, taking down 2 guards before they could reach her. Then she heard a loud crash behind her. A guard charged with a heavy hammer. Sarah ducked just in time. The hammer smashed into the wall, cracking the stone. She kicked the guard's knee, then hit him with the rod. He fell with a grunt. Good job, Logan said from the core room. Sarah smiled briefly, then ran back to help. Together, they fought until the last Raskari guard was down. Logan turned to the core. Now, the hard part. He pulled a thick cable from the machine. Sparks flew. The blue light flickered. Suddenly the base shook. An alarm screamed again. The Raskari are activating their self-destruct, Logan shouted. Sarah grabbed his arm. We have to get out. They ran through the dark halls, the station trembling behind them. Explosions shook the mountain. Pieces of metal fell from the ceiling. Logan held the door open. Go, move! Sarah ran outside, breathing hard. The sky was bright with fire. The mountain was burning. Behind them, the station exploded in a burst of flames and smoke that rose like a giant cloud into the sky. Sarah looked at Logan. Did we stop it? He nodded, wiping sweat from his face. The signal is gone, the fleet won't come. Her mother and the others ran to them, tears and smiles mixing. We're safe, Sarah said quietly. Logan looked up at the burning mountain. But the war isn't over. There will always be those who want power. Sarah took a deep breath. Then we'll be ready. She looked at Logan. Thank you for saving me. He smiled. No, you saved yourself. Together they watched the fire burn until the stars came out. The fire on the mountain had died down. Smoke still rose slowly into the morning sky, but the danger was over. For now. Sarah stood outside the small camp where the rescued Zayari had made their home. Her mother sat nearby, smiling softly while repairing a torn blanket. The children laughed and played, their eyes filled with hope for the first time in a long while. Logan stood beside Sarah, watching the sunrise paint the desert gold. The air was cool, fresh from the night. This place is peaceful, Sarah said quietly. Logan nodded. For now. But peace is fragile. Sarah looked at the horizon, where the red dunes stretched far and wide. I want to help rebuild, she said. Not just for my people, but for all who live here. Logan smiled. That's why I think you're special. You don't just survive, you lead. She blushed slightly. I learned from you. He laughed softly. Maybe, but you have your own fire. The days passed, and the camp grew stronger. Sarah taught the children how to read and write. She shared stories of her village and the stars beyond the desert. Her mother helped the elders organize food and water supplies. Logan repaired old machines, turning broken tools into useful devices. One evening, Sarah and Logan sat by a fire outside their shelter. Do you ever miss the war? Sarah asked. Logan stared into the flames. Sometimes. But I've seen enough. Pain to last a lifetime. Now I want to protect, not fight. Sarah nodded. Me too. They sat in silence, watching the stars blink awake. Weeks later, a small ship landed near the camp. It was a human scout ship with smooth silver walls and bright blue lights. The hatch opened and a tall woman stepped out, wearing a uniform with a familiar emblem. Logan Creed, she said. We've been looking for you. Logan stepped forward. I'm here. What's the news? The woman smiled. The Earth fleet was redirected after your signal was cut. They're not coming, but they want to help rebuild your world. Sarah looked at Logan, hope growing inside her. The woman turned to the Zayari elders. We bring medicine, food, and technology. Together we can make this desert bloom again. The camp cheered. Months passed and the desert changed. Crops grew in small fields. Clean water flowed from new wells. Children went to school, laughing and learning. Sarah stood in the middle of the village square, surrounded by friends and family. Her mother approached her holding a small box. I have something for you, she said, opening it. Inside was a necklace with a blue stone, shaped like a crescent moon. Your mother wore this, she explained. Now it's yours. Sarah's eyes filled with tears. I will keep it safe. Logan came close, placing a hand on her shoulder. You've come far, Sarah. She smiled. And this is just the beginning. One night, as the camp rested under a blanket of stars, Sarah and Logan stood outside, looking toward the desert. Do you think peace will last? Sarah asked. Logan shrugged. We can only hope. But if anyone tries to bring war here, they'll have to face us. Sarah nodded. We will protect our home. The wind whispered through the dunes, carrying promises of new life. Together, they faced the dawn, a new day for the desert, for the Zayari, and for all who called it home.